I beat my PB.
Yeah. I don't know. That's why I don't know why you weren't excited.
Did
I?
What's up guys, welcome back to another race day vlog. Haven't filmed too much leading into this one just because, what's up man? Ran out of time today, we're a bit tight. The warm up we're about to do is going to be 15 instead of 25, but I'm here at the Gold Coast Running Festival at Seabus Stadium and I'm running the half marathon today. It's a bit of a hilly course, so I'm not sure how the PB is, how much of a PB is going to go down, but we're just going to take it as it comes and then treat it as a really, really good training run in prep for Noosa. We're a bit strapped for time, so we're going to quickly duck back to the car, drop some stuff off, go for our warm-up. Got the full kit on today, wearing the Saucony Pro 4s, and I've got the Chorus shoe pod, heart rate monitor, and of course the Pace 3, which is going to be checking or working through my pace today as we go through the marathon or the half marathon. All right, let's do it. Like these splitties. What's in these? Yeah. This is where I'm gonna have to keep my gels today. My lucky number.
Oh, you got the one on your foot too?
Yeah. It's like the foot pod.
Good job, doll. Woohoo! See you at the finish, doll. Go, Tomo, smashing it.
There's no place like Queensland when it comes to combining Australia's headline events and those with incredible destinations from food and wine.
Hey, Matt. Good work. Good finish.
Dave, stop!
Good work, Dave.
It said it ran short on my watch, but an hour 17:35, which I think is 1 second off the PB.
But it'll be like on the official time anyway.
Yeah, we'll see what the official time is. But so yeah, went a little bit short on the watch, 20.85k, so very short, like 300 meters. But 3:43 pace. I don't think it's a PB. It might be a 1 second PB or bang on, but on a hilly course, I think like I'm pretty happy with that. Though it was very hilly, the hills like they got me. I was struggling. I was going back to like 350s, 4-minute pace on those hills, especially that first one. I just tried to like not really worry about the pace and just kind of cruise up them and then try to make up some time on the way back down. But I played a very conservative first half. Like I was just really just chilling. Like I was 3:45s, just kind of cruising, trying to just like become as comfortable as I could. But yeah, overall, pretty good. Pro 4s.
You're so sweaty.
Pro 4s, I'll say it now, they're not nowhere near as good as the elites, but I'll talk more about that in the race recap, but all good.
Good job.
Thank you very much. Have a good day. When you get up the hill and then those ones, they fuck out on the way back to the fuck off hill. Yeah. Because you can kind of get into like a nice you think on the way out of that. As soon as you start into the goal. I was like running with this guy and I was like, oh, one more hill, got up the hill, and I realised that there was one more. Like that kind of broke me.
Here we go. All right, it's on.
I ran 78.35. I think I'm 1 second off the PB.
No, yeah, I think wasn't your previous PB 118 or something?
Oh, what did I say? Yeah, 78.
Yeah, so you're way under a PB.
What did I say?
Your PB was like 18:30 or something, wasn't it, in Sunday?
Oh, maybe I ran 18. Oh, fuck. What did I run?
You ran 117 something.
Oh, so I beat my PB.
Yeah. I don't know. That's why I don't know why you weren't excited.
Did I? We're back in my house. It's now the next day, and we got this bad boy right here. Not a bad looking medal. Not a bad looking medal. So the official time for the race yesterday was an hour 17:33, which is 3 minutes 40 per kilometer and a 63-second PB. Which you can see by the previous footage that I had absolutely no idea until that clip. The reason I didn't know that I'd run a PB was because for the entire race, I didn't think that I was on 60-second PB pace, and it didn't cross my mind even a single time. Even when I finished, I thought that I finished around a second or two of my PB time, but there was just no way in hell that I could fathom that I had run a full minute PB. So if you follow me on Instagram, you would have seen that there was a bit of a controversy on the course being short for pretty much everybody that did the half marathon by about 200 to 300 meters. Now, this would honestly make sense after not even realizing that I'd run a 1 minute PB, which in itself is a massive PB. I know I am a lot fitter and I am so much better at running since I ran that last PB at the Sunshine Coast Half last September, but the way that this course was, being a hilly course and quite a tough course, there was just no way that I ran a 1 minute PB. Now, people were saying, claim it, it's not your fault that the course was short, it's not your fault the GPSs were out, blah, blah, blah. But like at the end of the day, I know that I didn't run a minute faster than I ran at the Sunshine Coast last year, purely because of the hills, just how tough the course was, and my pace that my chorus said I was running was not 340s on average for the entire run. So yeah, I'm a little bit torn on what to think. But at the end of the day, it was a really great training run for the Noosa Marathon that I have now in 4 weeks. So it was a really good test of fitness, and it's really good to just put myself in that race situation, put myself in that tough mental battle of running on fatigued legs and pushing through the hurts that I think is so important, and why I think racing often can be really beneficial leading into your key race. Just like teaching yourself to hurt, essentially. I definitely gained a lot of that over the race yesterday. So overall, PB or not, so stoked with the race, so stoked with how it went, and so stoked with how like my body held up on the hills, which I was a little bit worried about. So I went into this race feeling pretty nervous because last year when I ran the same race, it was just an absolute shit show of a performance. I ended up running the race on really tired legs. I didn't really know the elevation of the course, so I wasn't ready for the hills mentally or physically, and I ended up just having a really bad experience of a race, probably the worst race experience that I've had. I mean, I learned a lot from that race, but overall it was a pretty sucky race. So I had a lot of emotion and nerves coming into this year's race. Just kind of nervous that the same thing would happen. I would shit the bed and wouldn't be able to handle the hills, and then overall run a shit time and lose a bit of confidence for the Noosa Marathon coming up. So comparing this year's time to last year's time, I improved by 5 minutes and 37 seconds, which is crazy. Even though it was a short course, give or take a minute, I'd say. That's still a massive improvement from the year before, so really, really happy with that. And last year's time, I ran an hour 23:10. So yeah, as you can see, I really had a bit of a shocking day. Even though it is hilly, it was still a pretty rough day. And another reason that I am pretty confident that the course was short and probably not going to take this as a PB time for the half marathon because I was wearing the Coros Pace 3. This has never let me down with distance running, any run that I've ran in the Coros Pace 3. And I was also wearing the heart rate monitor and the Coros pod. So literally the sole purpose for the Coros pod is to give you a more accurate cadence, power, and pace. It's a more accurate and a faster pace accuracy. So yeah, I'm pretty confident in these that they would give me the right reading. And yeah, like I said before, I don't think I was running 340 average over the 21K. I'm just not gonna take it, and that's it. And that's all I'm gonna say more about that. So now let's go into the Coros app where we're gonna look at the split breakdown and have a little chat about how the race went for me and how I executed my nutrition and what was my race plan going in. So we can probably start off with my fueling strategy for the race. I started off by having a gel on the start line. This was a Morton Gel 160, so 40 grams of carbs just before I started, just to make sure that my glycogen stores are nice and topped up, ready for the hard efforts. Then I carried 2 gels on me. So I carried a Cis gel and a Precision Fueling Hydration Caffeine gel. So I had the Cis gel at around 9Ks, and then I had my second and final caffeine gel. I had this one at around 15Ks. The idea was have that caffeine gel at 15Ks and then hopefully feel nice and fueled and nice and caffeinated for a strong send home in the final few kilometers of the race. And I ended up executing that nutrition plan perfectly, and that's exactly how it played out on the race. So for the split breakdown, it's interesting because on the Coros it came up as 20.85 Ks, so that is just under 300 meters off 21.1, which is annoying. So I actually didn't clock a half marathon time on Strava or on the Coros, but whatever, I'm over that now. So we go into the start of the race with the first kilometer. I've got a 3:38 split here. This is to be expected. I think most of my half marathon races start around that high 3:30 pace, just purely because I was in a bit of a shit position. There's nothing worse than when you hear people talking a couple of rows in front of you saying that they're gonna go for like an hour 50 half marathon, and you're stuck in the crowd behind wanting to go for like a sub 80. I mean, good on them for doing the half marathon and everything, but I feel like when we line up, you kind of have to know your pace and know your capabilities and then just go back from the front, because it hinders people's starts to the race. But anyways, laugh about that. It was a tough start, so you have to kind of weave through people just to get into a good position, but I managed to get into a pretty good position. By the end of the first case, it was a 3:38 split. The next one was 3:49. So at the end of the second K, there's a massive hill that's about 100 meters long, but the elevation is insane. So it would literally be like that. You're up on your toes, you're pumping the arms just to get the legs up, just to get the body up the hill. But that's why we have a 3:49 split, so it's a little bit slower. Then we have a 3:45, a 3:40, and then a 3:42. Okay, so settled in quite nicely for the first 5K. From about the kilometer 1 to kilometer 5 mark of the race, I was sitting in a group of about 3 guys, and I was sitting behind them. They were breaking the winds. I felt like I was probably cruising a little bit too much, and they were sitting closer to that 3:45 to 3:50 pace. And I kept trying to sort of push the pace with the group, but nobody wanted to go any faster. So I made the decision at about maybe the 5K, 6K mark to just go out on my own, just break the wind myself, because I was either gonna stay with them, save energy, but run way slower, or I would just have to go out on my own. So I made the decision, go out on my own and just run my own race essentially. And I'm glad I did, because next K was 3:39, 3:38, 3:43, 3:50, and then the 10th K was 3:42. The way the course profile worked was in that second K, you go up that massive hill, then you go a really big out and back. You turn around at about 5.5K, come back, down the hill, and then you go for a second lap for the half marathon. So on that big out and back after the big hill, the road is very rolling, but very gradual. So some pretty sucky hills going up, some pretty sucky hills going down. So I found my pace was never consistent. It was always going up, always going down. But I always seemed to just hover around that 340 to 345 stage, well, pace. And I got through my first lap feeling probably the most comfortable that I've ever felt in a race. I was kind of thinking in my head, am I running this a little bit too reserved? Am I running this a little bit too comfortable? Am I letting myself down with my effort today? That was kind of the thoughts that was going through my head as I was running. So I sort of decided to try and pick up the pace a little bit, but I still stayed kind of relatively in fourth gear, all the way up until about the 15-kilometer mark. This 15-kilometer mark is where I had my final gel, and I thought, yeah, I should probably start making a move and start giving it a little bit more here. It's funny because at the 16th kilometer mark, I ran a 3:34K split, and this is because Tomo, who was meant to be running a training run, so I think his idea was run the first 17K around threshold and then pick it up for the last 4K if he's feeling good. This was at the 16K mark. I hear this tap on my shoulder, hey bro, and it was Tomo, and he was just motoring. And he goes, come on bro, let's go, let's run. And I was like, oh shit, all right. And I just started running with him. I think we were both excited to see each other. We were running 3:30s, which felt good for about 500 meters. And then I started to blow up real quick. And to be honest, that move, that surge was much too hard. Like, it was far too hard for me at that time. And I was cooking. It ended up really, really hurting. And from that point onwards, I was kind of battling for the rest of the race. Tomo ended up sort of staying strong. I think he stayed around that 3:35 pace. I had to drop down to that 3:40, 3:45 just to like get my shit back together. He was just slowly getting away from me, and he ended up running 1:16:30 or something. So he ran a full minute in front of me, which is an absolutely unreal effort. Like, good on you, Tomo. Smashed it, mate. But yeah, I just didn't have it in me to stay on him, and I just tried to run my own race and held on for the last, I guess, 5K after that. What I did notice, and what I will comment on about the Endorphin Pro 4s, is I'm a little bit disappointed with their performance over the half marathon distance. Yeah, they were soft, yeah, they were poppy, but I felt, well, I don't know if this was because I went up half a size and they felt a little bit big for me, but they felt a little bit clunky and a little bit dead towards the last 4K of the half marathon. They didn't have the pop, didn't have the responsiveness that I would have liked from a super shoe in the deep end of the race. I was thinking multiple times while I was running, I wish I had the Elites on. I think the Elites are just that step above in performance for a race shoe. Don't get me wrong, the Pro 4s are really, really great, really comfortable, but I think that for me personally, they're more of a workout shoe, something to wear in training, something to wear on a long run, and something to smash out like K reps in. I think that will work really well, but yeah, I didn't really get on that well with the Pro 4s for the half marathon, unfortunately. But moving on to the 20 and the 21st Ks, so the last 2 Ks of the race. After I'd run down that big hill, then you finish off for your last 2Ks back into the stadium where you finish. Second last K, ran 3:37. I think I just get this mentality when I get to the end of the race, just got to absolutely send it. So that's what I tried to do. I was feeling pretty buggered, feeling pretty fatigued from those hills, but I managed to pull out a 3:37. And then the last K, which was only 0.85, it says I was running around that 3:33 pace. So semi-decent finish. Can't really complain with that. Wasn't really feeling too crash hot, wasn't really feeling super fast in the Pro 4s, but managed to come home and finish fairly strong for a very, very unofficial PB. I jokingly said like this course is officially hilly and unofficially 21.1K. So I think that if it was the full distance, I probably would have ran within a second or two off my half marathon PB anyway, which, like I said before, is an amazing effort and a really, really great improvement considering there's some pretty bullshit hills in that course. If anybody or if any of you guys have ever ran that course, it's pretty rough, pretty hilly. Ran the first probably 14K a little too relaxed, probably could have ran maybe a couple of seconds faster per K and got away with not adding too much more fatigue on the legs. This is all stuff that you learn, but really great training run, really great test of fitness for the big dance that's coming up in 4 weeks, guys. But yeah, that's gonna conclude the race day vlog and the race day recap. I hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys are enjoying the Noosa Marathon 245 series so far. I think we're up to episode 9. Wow, these add up. We've got Noosa in 4 weeks, guys. I'm feeling fit, I'm feeling ready to smash a sub 245 marathon. It's gonna be the biggest day of my life and I'm just so excited. I've got so much emotion tied towards this. It's gonna be really great, can't wait. But if you are enjoying the series, make sure you like it, subscribe so you don't miss any of the future episodes, and share it with your running friends. It really helps me out, really helps to get the content out there, which overall is gonna help me out as a job and as a runner and just as everything. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.